If you're stuck choosing between Silvery and Miracle Made sheets, I bet you're probably shopping for the same reason most people end up here. You want sheets that feel clean longer, don't get that sleep funk after a couple nights, and ideally help you if you're a hot sleeper or dealing with night sweats, menopause, heat spikes, yada yada. Both brands market themselves as silver infused cooling, they wash less sheets. Both also promise odor control. Both have strong opinions floating around online. So here's the decision-led breakdown that matters. Which one actually seems to stay fresher longer in real life, and which is the safer buy overall? If you want the best balance of freshness, everyday comfort, and less risk, Miracle Made sheets are the better pick for most people. Why? Miracle Made is way more transparent about the fabric generation that you're getting and how to care for it. And these sheets are built to be more purpose-driven, not strictly fancy bamboo or sateen luxury. Their stated antibacterial claim is up to 99.7% reduction of bacteria growth, plus freshness up to 3 times longer. And the deep pocket construction is designed to be practical for everyday beds. Silvery is absolutely convincing, especially if you specifically want bamboo viscose sateen and a longer trial. They give you 100 nights. But if your deciding factor is which is more likely to feel fresh and hold up without regrets, Miracle is the cleaner winner overall in my books. Before we get into it, let's look at this handy little chart that I put together for you so you can look at a side-by-side comparison of these two brands of silver sheets. With Miracle Made, you get 100% cotton with silver infused threads. You get 99.7% bacteria growth reduction. And they have a 30-night free trial, which is less than Silvery, but you get free returns and they have a 2-year warranty. These are best for people who want proven benefits of silver, but in like a classic cotton sheet. When you look at Silvery, their material is made from 100% viscose taken from bamboo. It's a sateen weave and 400 thread count. So these are good sheets. The freshness claim is that they're lab tested to prevent 99.9% of bacteria growth and up to 3 times longer freshness. Their trials and returns are a 100-night free trial, free returns in the US, and a 1-year warranty. These are really good for people who specifically want that bamboo, like satiny, heavy, but thin sheet feel. Now let's take a quick look at how I actually compared these two brands for you. First, I looked at what each brand actually says about their materials, their care, and their odor control. Then I looked at their policies that reduce buyer risk. And then I looked at what real people are bringing up online, the good and the bad, about smell, pilling, longevity, and in forums like Reddit, Amazon reviews, and that kind of thing. Lastly, I looked at what's realistically true about silver textiles. They may help with odor-causing bacteria, but they don't replace washing when sweat, oils, and dirt build up. Okay, one more quick thing before we get into the comparison. I just want to break down what silver sheets can and can't do, because I feel like people's expectations of silver sheets are kind of all over the place these days. Silver infused textiles are generally positioned around odor control. So your sheets aren't just magically clean forever. Silver can affect bacteria, but it doesn't remove sweat or oil or physical grime. So if somebody expects self-cleaning sheets, they may be let down. So the realistic promise is slower odor buildup, not zero laundry. With that in mind, here is the head-to-head breakdown that I put together for you. Okay, now let's take a look at pricing and value of these two brands when compared. Silvery positions itself with frequent promo-style offers. Their site shows the Silvery bed sheets with a range of different price points depending on when you're looking at it, but when you remove all the hoopla and the added bonuses and such, a standard sheet set looks to start around $99. Miracle's sheet collection lists the Miracle Made sheet set starting at around $284, and the extra luxe set starts around $353 for the twin set. Yes, they cost more, but we're not comparing apples to apples here. So on pure sticker price, Silvery usually looks more accessible, especially when promos are running. Miracle is typically higher list price with a separate extra luxe tier. The value question here is, do you care more about bamboo sateen luxury like from Silvery, or more about that standard cozy sheet feel with silver benefits like with Miracle? Because that affects whether this price makes sense to you or not. Personally, I feel that Silvery wins on price even without the promos, but you're not getting 100% cotton, and they also have half the warranty that Miracle does. Now let's move on to materials and feel. This is where these sheets diverge hard. Silvery is explicitly 100% viscose, made from bamboo, with a sateen weave and 400 thread count. That usually means a smoother, drapier, sort of heavy but thin, silky feel. Miracle is a bit more complicated because they've shipped out different generations of their fabric. What that means is at first they used long staple cotton, then they moved on to eucalyptus lyocell before switching back to long staple cotton. So there may still be some second gen sheet sets floating out there somewhere. Now let's take a look at cooling performance. So here's the thing, cooling is usually more about basic fabric plus the weave than the silver itself. Bamboo sateen, which is silvery, tends to feel really cool to the touch, and it's moisture wicking. Cotton sheets, like with Miracle, can feel cool too, especially in percale, but Miracle's material varies by generation, which it can change how people's experience their cooling. So if you're buying primarily for the cool feel, Silvery's material consistently gives it a point here. But if you're buying for freshness, less odor, durability, and coolness, then I say go with Miracle Made. Now let's get into freshness and odor control, which is sort of like the main point of this video. So Silvery claims third-party lab verification and prevention of 99.9% bacteria growth, plus stays fresh up to 3 times longer than regular sheets. Miracle claims it combats bacteria growth up to 99.7%, so pretty close, via silver ionization, and also states freshness up to 3 times longer, so pretty comparable. On paper, both are basically saying silver helps sheets smell fresher longer, and there's less washing to do. Yay! Where it gets real is with user experience. There are people on Reddit who say Miracle didn't live up to the smell fresher claim for them. There are also people on Reddit saying that the new Miracle Made sheets have been durable and held up really well, especially with frequent washing, which directly contradicts the negative takes. So for Silvery, a lot of the Reddit threads are still, has anybody tried these style posts. So it's more curiosity than a huge volume of long-term durability reporting. That doesn't mean Silvery performs worse, it just means the public feedback footprint is less robust compared to Miracle, which has been around longer and more widely discussed. It just makes sense. My decision on freshness, based on claims alone, it's nearly a tie. Based on real-world chatter, Miracle has more mixed reviews, but also more evidence of real long-term users. Silvery sounds promising, but we have less volume of long-term reporting in public forums. I've used Miracle sheets in my home, and I don't have a single negative thing to say about them other than they're a little bit pricey. But having used my set for nearly 2 years now, I can say the price is definitely worth it. I'd probably grab a set of Silvery sheets for my teen's bedroom or a guest bedroom simply due to the fact that they're cheaper and they still have decent benefits for odor control and freshness. All right, now let's take a look at durability and wash reality. This is where buyers get burned because freshness doesn't matter if your sheets pill or thin out or even rip because they've thinned. Miracle has some loud negative feedback online about pilling and tearing after a few months, but I almost wonder if that's just the second-gen materials that they use, because there's also decent and more recent Reddit commentary from users claiming the opposite experience with the newer sheets. Plus, their 2-year warranty is pretty telling. They're backing their product. I've already told you, I have a set of Miracle Made sheets that we've been using for almost 2 years. I've washed them a gazillion times, and they still look and feel and perform the way they did on day one. Take from that what you will. Silvery claims its antibacterial effectiveness lasts through hundreds of washes with only minimal reduction and provides care guidance. Cold wash recommended, avoid bleach, softeners, etc. They also back it with a 1-year warranty. It's not as good as Miracle's 2-year warranty, but still pretty decent. If the question is which stayed fresher longer, the honest answer is both are designed to slow odor buildup, but your mileage will depend on how much you sweat, your laundry routine, and whether you use heavy fabric softeners, which both brands discourage. They actually both have their own detergents that they recommend you use. But as a bottom funnel recommendation where someone is about to click buy, Miracle Made sheets are the better overall pick. Just trust me on that one, because they're positioned as the more established, more broadly discussed option with clearer guidance on materials and care, and a sheet set that's meant to feel like normal bedding and comes with a longer warranty. Silvery is still a strong contender, don't get me wrong, especially if bamboo sateen is your thing, but they're not for you if you hate sheets that feel kind of thin. If this comparison helped you out at all, be sure to like and subscribe and check out our other sleep guides and tips for buying the absolute best products for your bedroom.